holds onto my phone. It's just a little suction cup mount for like GPSs, but I like it as a phone mount. Here's my inspiration picture, which I set on the wet countertop and then got a little wonky, and then I got my clippers all plugged in and ready to go, and this is has my scissors and my cape and everything in it. And that's it. So we're all set up and ready, so let's get cutting. It has been since about August since I cut my hair, so it's time for a trim. But I've been looking at this Gennifer Goodwin Pixie haircut, which I absolutely love. And I'm gonna do that to myself today. Pretty excited. So I just wanted to show you guys my setup before, because I realized I've never shown you that before. So first thing I do though, putting on my cape. Gonna clip that top part out of the way, and then I'm going to just start with my number 2 and trim all that back down. I love having it undercut. It just gets rid of all that bulk that I don't have to deal with, never even have to worry about it again. And I'm trying to fade it out here a little bit so that I can very easily go in later with my thinning shears to really fade it out some more. Because I am not very good at fading my own hair in the back, but I can fake it with those texturizing shears. Woo boy, can I. So I did one side, and then I go back around and I do the other side. And then I kind of work it up through the back. This is where I start to get first I start in doing this without any kind of mirror. And then I realize, oh wait, I should probably get a mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Part of the reason that I show you this part, even though it's pretty embarrassing how bad it is because I want you to see what a hot mess it is. It takes me a long time. I just jump in there and start cutting, and then I just fix what is not right. Okay, it's not a beautiful process. It is a very ugly process. And it looks like, oh my goodness, I have just totally messed everything up. But then it all kind of works out in the end. Here I'm using my trimmers, which is the most difficult part for me. I get so kind of backwards and tangled up. Like here, I'm going to go this way, no, this way. But it's just a matter of getting a good angle to where I can, in a mirror, it's like backwards. That big red place on my neck is a birthmark, just so you know. I haven't hurt myself. That's called a stork bite, I think. That's what I've heard. But it's just a birthmark, and it gets brighter when I do touch my neck. So it's a little inflamed at the moment since I've been rubbing clippers over it, but it's not hurt or anything. I'm running the number 1 guard around the bottom to get a nice close fade. I think that'll do pretty good. Love these thinning shears. I'm going to use them to take out the bulk and any weight lines around this fade so that it will blend very nicely into this longer top. I do get a little overzealous here and divot myself a little bit, but the truth is it's not that big a deal to me because I know in about 5 days that'll not even be noticeable because my hair grows so fast. This is just part of cutting my own hair. I know that it's not going to be perfect. If I was doing this on someone else, someone in front of me, not myself, it would be absolutely flawless. But I'm not doing it on someone else. I'm doing it on myself, so I can't really see what I'm doing. And I think it turns out pretty good when you take that into consideration. Even when you don't, I still get lots of compliments and stuff on my imperfect haircuts. So I'm okay with being like, that's good enough. That's good enough. I had to wet down all that top. Actually, I wet down my whole head so that I can cut it without having little hairs flying around all everywhere. That would drive me crazy. So that's why I wet it down to cut it. How I'm going to start this top part of this haircut is to cut the outline out using my regular shears. And then I'm going to go through and layer it, and then I'll go through and texturize it. But I'm looking at my picture over here and seeing the angle that she has and where it falls and all that good stuff. And then I'm just cutting that shape into my hair. This is like the least scientific mathematical way to do a haircut. Most haircuts are actually a very mathematical process. And so this is extremely different than everything you were taught in beauty school. But you know, it's like that old phrase that you learn all the rules and then you can break them. Once you learn all the geometry of haircutting, then you can just straight up go on to sculpting, where you're just looking at your hair and taking away what is not supposed to be there to get the look you want to achieve. What the back of hers is looking like. We are on to the layering. I mean, we've been on to the layering, but so I'm cutting out, this is where cutting out these layers really helps add that volume back up to the top, which gives it such a fun, funky, spunky look, I think. So very necessary step. And then after we layer it, we'll go through and texturize it, which will give it the piecey ends, which is also a very important step for this kind of haircut. Ideally, you would use a razor for this part, but I'm not trying to do that to myself because I like having all my fingers, so I just use the texturizing shears when I get to, man, that's a lot of hair coming off up there, isn't it? But I just use the texturizing shears to get all that extra bulk out and give it that fun textured edge. So you remember everything I said earlier about not having to use geometry anymore now with hair cutting? Well, this is exactly what I'm doing, is the geometry part. So as I am connecting point A to point B and getting rid of all that extra hair, that's what I'm doing. So that's geometry, folks, right there, what you just saw. Isn't it fun? Isn't it fun? So this is finally the time to get out the thinning shears. So texturize away. So I'm just gonna lighten it up, make it piecey. I'm not trying to get too much gone, but enough to where it will behave properly once I put some product in it. Here I am back to the sculpting. So geometry time is over. Now it is sculpting time. All right. Well, I want you guys to enjoy this blow dry as much as I did. Now that it's all dry, I'm going to go back in and touch up any areas where it's just not quite perfect. I have my inspiration photo in front of me, and I am literally going in and cutting hairs to lay exactly like she has them. So this is where I'm going in and point cutting. Now this is how I point cut on myself, so that I don't cut my fingers, is I just do that. But that way I get just a little more texture in the front there. And I'm also realizing how much that blonde hair in the front is messing up the look of this, because that blonde hair, you just can't see it. And so it makes it look shorter than it is. So, yep, I'm gonna be coloring my hair, at least back closer to my natural color, in the next couple days. But in the meantime, this is good. It's still a little damp back there, so one last pass with the blow dryer. Checking out the back, there's the area where I divoted myself a little bit right there, but like I said, it's not that big a deal. In a few days that will be grown out and you won't even be able to see it. Okay, so trying to style a brand new haircut like this can be a little challenging. So I'm trying to style it just like in that picture. But I absolutely won't do it like this on the daily, and it'll be a lot easier once I get this color situation taken care of where you can actually see all my hair. It'll be a whole lot easier then. But in the meantime, I love it, guys. Isn't this fun? Turned out really good. Yes, I approve. I love this. Super fun. Well, I love my new hair, but I think we're getting ready to snuggle up and get ready for bedtime. So,
thanks for joining us. See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.